will do more activity. Everything we do is a systematic approach to winning and crushing the competition. That's it. There's no wasted, oh man, I think we'll just have the salespeople do a bunch of crap today because I want to see who wants to be here. Nah, here's what we do. We do it because we want to win. So the next thing is we have, I'd already told you, we have shift meetings. We have 12, 3, and 6. And you know how you avoid a shift meeting as a salesperson? Have a customer in front of you. So I told this guy one day, he was like, man, these shift meetings. I'm like, you know how you avoid it? Man, I got a plan for you. Have a customer every time there's a shift meeting. And you'll never have to go to one. So, I mean, just for some of y'all sales pros that are on the phone, if you want to avoid meetings, have a freaking customer. You'll never have to go to one. Okay. But we have 12, 3, and 6. We check out. We have sales training at 8:30 in the morning. We have sales meetings. Our sales meeting on Fridays at 9, but our sales meeting on Saturday is at 8. Well, gosh, why is it so early? I don't know. Some of it may be open at 7. I'm not aware. But we're open pretty late here. But we decided that on Saturday, we need that extra hour to get ready for the day. So we moved our sales meeting back. Actually, my GSM came to me and said, hey, man, I want to move it back. This was probably 4 years ago, actually. This was not, we hadn't done it forever. He's like, we need that time. We need more day. We need, Saturday's too big a day. Well, gosh, I got to give up another hour. I don't know, man. Work 5 extra years before you retire. You make the decision. I'll give up some hours to be able to do what I want when I get older. So, and just so most of the people on the phone know, I've run small stores. I started out in small stores. Okay. So I ran stores, Midland, Texas, Odessa, Texas, San Angelo, Abilene, Corpus Christi, Santa Fe. I oversaw stores in all of those markets. This helps everyone. Let me ask you a question. No matter who you are on the phone, if you doubled your outbound calls, emails, texts, and Facebook Live and Instagram, would it hurt your sales? Absolutely not. No chance in the world. And if you'd like to prove it, just double your effort, and then you can tell me how much it sucked. Okay, but I can tell you right now, there's no possible way to do twice the work, twice the effective work, and go backwards. Also, I'm just telling you, as y'all know, the market, now granted, I would imagine there's a lot of you on the phone that have salespeople that did not even sell cars for you pre-COVID. Okay? Those people are not salespeople. No offense. My son, who is 17 and knows jack splat about selling a car, last year could have taken phone ups at my sales tower, and here was some of the calls, because I listen to calls. Oh, that's another thing I do. A lot of you might not do it. I listen to calls. We play calls in our sales meetings. We will call people out for a bad job. We will give people props for a good job. If you're not willing to do that because you don't want to hurt people's feelings, be prepared to hurt your wife's feelings about where you can't go on vacation. Okay? So you decide. But my son could take a phone up. Here's how the phone ups went last year. First half of the year. Hey, do y'all have a Platinum Tundra? You do? What's your market adjustment? I'm on my way. That was a phone up. Are you kidding me? Back when I took phone ups, I had to overcome about 13 objections to get a customer in. Like so just keep in mind that most of your people did not sell cars pre-COVID. They do not know what it was like to drag a customer in and sell a Corolla for $3,000 back at invoice, minus rebate, and a $159 a month lease. We're selling Corollas for $35,000 over here. I used to sell them for $19,900. And hey, yeah, I'm in the market for a Corolla. You get an internet lead. Here's what the internet lead would say. I am sending this to 5 dealerships. The lowest price will get my business. It does not matter about anything else. I don't get those emails anymore. We've even trained the customer that they're going to pay more. It's unbelievable. Okay, but so we used to have 170 Corollas on the lot, 180. I used to have 800 cars. This morning I had 9. So customer would call in. Hey, you have any Corollas? Yeah, I've got 180 of them. How many LEs do you have? I've got 80, sir. Which color would you like? I'll bring it to your house. Please take one off of my hands. Okay? It's not that way. New cars, it's not that way. Used cars, what are you battling? Rougher credit. People are upside down. Well, I got news for all the GMs. People have always been upside down. Pre-COVID, the average consumer was $4,500 in the tank. So what? It's $7,000. I've never seen banks buy deeper. I mean, banks are clamoring for loans. Do you know why they're clamoring for loans? Because if they don't keep loans on the books, their loss ratios go up 7 times. That's the only way to offset a loss ratio is to keep loaning money. Okay, but that's an upper level. So just to give you an idea, my internet response time, to get back to the basics, my internet response time in the month of January was 1.8 minutes. Okay, and that's a real email. That's not a bullshit template. Okay, 1.8 minutes.
Hey, Darren, real quick on that 70-70-70, because I just want to mention something real quick. I didn't need somebody. Well,
hey, you're in shape. Get up.
That's good. Like that? Hey, Sean's always rigging shit on me over here. Sean's always rigging shit.
That's how I get him back to fuck with me.
Hey, so I didn't, and listen, and it's like with all due respect to managers, but I didn't need somebody to manage me. See, I saw something like Darren saying, and he's like, hey, you got to keep them accountable. You got to keep, like, some of you, I don't understand. Like how you're not so fired up, like that you just want to go keep yourself accountable, because it's the only way to win. It's the only way to be able to do anything in this business and anything in life, really. But Darren, you said something. You said the 70-70-70. I love that, because I did something really similar for myself, and I didn't have a manager that told me to do it because my manager sucked. So I just did it myself. And I emulated guys like this. So if you're not listening, you're stupid, and just get off the call and go back to your old life. Some of you, the things that you have right now, like in your life, it's because of the way you think. See, some people, I see them sitting up, they're like this, Sean. They're like, whoa, I just need one thing and I'm going to do it. And then some people are so like, dude, you're so casual, and that's why you have what you have. I'm not casual. That's why I have what I have. I play to win, and I play to dominate in anything I do. So I'm coming to this call ready to learn. But you said that 70-70-70 deal. What if they don't do it, Darren? What if the salesperson doesn't do it for my managers? Because I know my managers want to know that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, there is no absolute, right? Even though, as much as we'd like to say, if a guy had 2 customers today, sold a half a car, and was tied up for 6 hours, chances are he may not have made 70-70-70. Okay. So then we're going to look at, how many appointments do you have for your next shift? Okay. How many appointments do you, and I'm talking about a guy who was busy, sold a car, had 3 people come in. He did his job, right? What's the whole purpose of this outbound activity? To be in front of a customer, right? Everything we do. So then we're looking at him at 6. He wants to, he's getting off at 8. Just so everybody know, we're open 8 to 9. And we're typically, my closing manager's sending me the report at 10:30. Okay, on a Friday, that's 11. Okay, but let's take an average salesperson who has 2 out on the 11th. Okay, they got 2 cars out. I'll just give a scenario. They're in their 3rd month. Okay, they're in their 3rd, because when you ask that question, I have to qualify it to give a correct answer, because every checkout's different.
Yeah, I like that.
Because that 25 car guy who's got 20 out on the 24th, if he's got 60 phone calls or 40, but he set 3 appointments for tomorrow, these are designed to get set up.
Yep.
I'll get to that in just a second. But guys got 2 out on the 11th. Our guys by their 3rd month have to sell 8 or we term them. Mm-hmm. Just so you know. And hey, listen.
8 to the gate, baby.
It may or may not be fair, but the fair comes to town once a year for a month. Fair is what poor people say it wasn't when they get beat. You never hear a winner stand up and say, man, it just wasn't fair. This is crap. No, they never say that. So a guy that's in his 3rd month has 2 out on the 11th and has 54 phone calls made, has sent 37 emails, and has sent 40 text messages. Mm-hmm. Bro, you need to go back to your desk. you're not leaving until you have 70 of each.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why. Okay. Here's why. We know that if they don't do the work, they have no chance of winning. Like they have zero chance. Most people won't make it if they do all the work. It's hard. So I have not convinced, but I've been telling my managers for years, you are letting their family down. You are letting everybody that's associated with them down, and you're letting them down by not holding them accountable.
That's it.
So if you're in a store that doesn't believe like I believe, that's fine. I will always make more money than you. Okay. There's no doubt in my mind, because I'm going to get more out of people and I'm going to have more winners working for me. I mean, I got a lot of people that make really good money that work here. Okay. But I wanted to go into appointments. So that's what I would say.
Thank you.
But a guy who's got 18 out on the 15th, and he maybe didn't make all the calls, but he had two people show up today, sold a car, helped another guy with a car, had to deliver one. Hey man, tomorrow you got to get back on track. Like I'm going to have a conversation, but it ain't going to be like the one with the guy that's got 2 out. Why? Because performance provides a platform. Okay. You perform all the time, then you're going to get some leeway, period. Not a ton. Okay. And I tell high performers, I say, here's the deal. You will be set up every day, because a good salesperson can make 10 calls and have 3. Like good people, guys, these rules are not for them. The problem is 15% of your people don't need the rules, but 85% have no shot without them. You decide which kind of place you want to run. Plus, if you have too many really, really, really good people, they don't need you anymore. So get ready to be fired. Okay. I'm just telling you. Now, Andy's deal is different. He's got like 30, like that's don't compare yourself to fucking Andy. Like you got people who move across the fucking country, change their whole life. Like they're fucking crazy. Your deal ain't like that. You can't make those rules at your store. You can't tell your fucking people to work out or you can't work here. That's shit. Bro, are you kidding me? I have an HR line out the back headed all the way down to the QT, which is about a half a mile from here. But appointments. I'm an appointment guy. I was setting appointments in the late 90s. Okay. Last month, we created 3,228 appointments. We confirmed 3,197 of them, and 1,686 of them showed up. Okay. So then you can do the math. We sold 650 cars divided by 1,686. We closed 38, almost 39% of our shown appointments. Now, here's what I can tell you. These are the upper level things a GM needs to be looking at over time. Now, I'll give you an example. You could probably, these are my monthly files for the last 7 years. And here's what I'll tell you. Your CRM, the numbers will change in the CRM over time. And I'll tell you why. Because a customer that came in April that didn't close, but came back and closed in June, that customer will get moved. And when you go back to April to look at what your numbers were, they will be different. Do you understand? Most of you do if you're involved in the CRMs. So I have my own numbers that I write down at the end of the month based on what happened. So I can go back in time and go, gosh, last April, we set 1,387, like our closing percentage has gone down. Our show percentage has gone down. What's happening? Well, we know right now with rates going up, if you haven't figured it out yet, you got to bring more people in to sell the same amount of cars.
Okay.
I don't care if you're
Darren, real quick. And Darren, would you recommend that a salesperson know this stuff too? Like know where they're at in their appointments?
Their self. Yeah,
right.
About themselves? Absolutely.
Okay, so salespeople, I just want to say something real quick. Salesperson people, at any point in time, I could probably ask anybody on this call, hey, how many appointments do you have? How many leads have you had this month? How many appointments have walked in? How many ups have you had in this month? How many cars have you sold? How many lives have you done? I could grill you on those things, and 98% of you wouldn't know that. I walked around with a binder, like Darren's saying. That's why I'm raising my hands. I'm going crazy. Because Darren, I'm my own business.
Yeah.
I'm my own business. So Darren, if you were my GM and you walked in, you said, hey, Ian, I need you to do this. And you asked me one question. You said, Ian, what's your numbers look like for the month? Dude, you could never catch me not knowing my numbers ever, Darren. I would know my numbers better than you would know my numbers. And you'd be like, holy shit. Hey, just don't even talk to Ian. See, but everybody wants to be a top salesperson, Darren. Everybody wants to be. But listen, you don't know what it takes. And what it takes is this. So some of you need to wake up, because Darren, if you were my GM, I'd be taking your soul, dude. I'd be so freaking jacked up. I'd be doing all this stuff right. I'd be freaking outworking everybody on that freaking floor. And you would know that I know my business better than anybody, including you. I would be making it a point to outthink and outwork you. But listen, I know some of you say you want the big life, but right now I just see in your posture and in your awareness that you don't. See, winners are aware. They're aware. He's aware of everything in the freaking store. He's having your meetings to me are awareness meetings to smack him in the face, wake him back up, recheck the numbers, reset them, and re-go. So I get stirred up by hearing this, because that's what I've done for 13 years. And that's what any winner's done their whole lives. So anyway.
Two guys, real quick, Darren, do you mind? We got about 10 minutes left. Can we transition into service? Because you have one of those dynamic service drives in the country.
And then let's leave it for like 5 minutes where we can ask some questions. And hey, if you want to just start dropping some questions in the chat real quick,
we'll run late.
Maybe we'll run like
I'll
an extra 10 minutes for anybody who wants to stay and ask some questions. And Darren's cool with that.
Okay, so switching gears from sales to service. Service is just sales with a little bit of technical advice. There's really there's no difference other than, this is the great thing about service. They got to bring their car in for maintenance, or it won't cover a warranty claim. So you have number one, you have fixed pricing. Number two, they have to come back. Like sales, they don't have to do that. So we do have a BDC in service. Okay. Because those calls are not a choice for the customer to come back in. Just, I want to let everybody know we have a 6-person BDC. They're required to make a minimum of 150 phone calls a day. They're required to set a minimum of 30 appointments a day. Just so you know, on Saturday, we had 270 confirmed appointments. Okay, so, and I'll tell you, this took me a little while to get my service director and service manager on my team. But like I told you earlier, my conviction is stronger. So I'm going to win. Well, plus I'm the boss. So eventually, if you don't do what I say, we have a different kind of conversation. But to give you some numbers, when I got here, our service department was doing about 300,000. Okay. In December, we did 1.1 million.
Jesus.
That's gross profit. Okay. And so everyone understands that we keep net 55% of that. Okay. As you probably figured out, that our dealership does pretty well. A lot of people work pretty hard here to make that happen. But service GMs, I'm sure every single one of you would like to sell more alignments. Okay. Why would I want to sell an alignment, Sean? Well, here's why I would tell you. Because it costs very little to do it, and the profit is enormous. Okay. So we were at 18% alignment penetration last year. Now, that doesn't sound great, but that puts us in the top 2% in the country. Now, we can do better. We need to get to 25%. But every time we do an alignment, okay, that cost is $89.